Hey everyone, welcome back to Go Local Live. I'm Ava Gaudette. We're in the Navigant Credit Union Broadcast Center, and my next guest, I know you all will always remember him as our culture guide from Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. He's done so much since then. Broadway's Rent, TV show Malibu Country with Reba McEntire, so many other things. Jay Rodriguez is on the show to talk to us. Hey Jay, what's happening?
Hey Ava, how are you?
I'm doing good. So I wanted to talk to you because you are now in Vegas. You're doing the show Sex Tips for Straight Women from a Gay Man. You guys recently, you opened not too long ago. How's the run going so far?
Yeah, so it's been great. I mean, Vegas didn't really know what to expect with it. It's the longest running off-Broadway comedy in New York. And so because of the title and the way the show plays out, they thought it'd be a perfect fit for Vegas. So we opened first week June, and the audiences have been really loving it. It's myself and Kendra Wilkinson from Girls Next Door. And essentially it's this really hilarious, 80% scripted, interactive play. And Kendra plays the exact opposite of who she is. She plays a buttoned-up moderator at a book discussion, and I play the author who she sort of steps into this position late, did not read the book, did not know that I'm more of a showman, and decided to do a whole presentation. So she's out of her element. I give her a makeover. It becomes sort of Queer Eye for the Straight Girl. And through the process of me teaching the audience these funny, hilarious, tongue-in-cheek kind of jokes and kind of tips, she basically comes out of her shell and gets the guy, which was the third cast member that she's always wanted. And so it was this really sweet, great show. And so we've been running since the first week in June, and now they just extended our run through January 2nd.
Wow, awesome.
I mean, headlining on the Vegas Strip is that was something that wasn't even on my radar. Of course, like a bucket list item, but I thought, how? I'm not Celine, but I'm happy to say that the Strip now has another Puerto Rican here.
Amazing. I love it. The Strip needed more Puerto Ricans. I think that was
That's right. I mean, right now it's J-Lo, Ricky, and me.
I love it.
Granted, they're in larger showrooms.
A little, just a little.
Yeah.
So you said that it's audience interactive, and that is always so scary. Like, from an audience point of view, it's like, what are they going to do to me? And then from an actor's point of view, what to expect. Like, have you had any crazy situations happen with your audience participants?
Yeah, when I saw the show in New York, I had already signed my contract. So after seeing it, I was like, oh God, like what am I going to do? Because there were moments that I thought in my head as an audience member that the lead actor that I play would feel out of control. But I think there's always like a backup plan. If you approach someone in the audience, you can kind of gauge. Like I've had really good luck with pulling people on stage that really wanted to be there or were pretending they didn't, but like ultimately did. So it's been fun. I think, early on, the audience you kind of win them over, and they get to choose which way they want the book discussion to go. If they want it the traditional way that Kendra's pushing for, which is her character is very bundled up, and that just sounds like a boring approach, and so the audience votes, and so they're voting on what they already saw a little piece of me do, and so ultimately they kind of like have given over to the experience. It is Vegas, and we don't use any foul language in our show, so it's really done with colorful language, and it's, I think one of the things that's the unifier. Everyone's had sex. We were born via sex, most of us. So, it's the one thing that everyone does, and I think oddly when I look into the audience, old, young, doesn't matter what color or what your sexual orientation is, it's the one unifier. It's the one thing everyone can have a good, hearty laugh about. So it's been, and that's the approach of the show. So thankfully, as an actor, it's not been terrible. I find that I have better success the older the person is that I bring up on stage, the lower their inhibitions are and the more that they want to really engage. We have a lot of like bachelorette parties, of course, birthdays, and of course, our personal favorite, those who drank too much. Yes. And try to steer away from that, like the people who drank too much. We've actually even had proposals on the show, during the show. We kind of navigated it with the groom to be and really surprised the girl. So that was really fun.
Oh, it sounds like a blast. It sounds like you just get to have so much
oddly,
fun.
It's like, honestly, it's a great role for you. It's a comedic role. It's really great. But it's one of these shows where you kind of remember how much you love doing stage work because so much of the show catches the audience by surprise.
Yeah.
And for my character, 80% scripted and about 20 is me on the fly, making
fun.
things up that kind of is based on their suggestions. So keeping it funny and keeping that rhythm without losing the laughs is always on my mind.
Well, you're really good at that. I mean, you're a pro. Like I said, you've been on Broadway. I mean, you know how to do that. So I'm sure.
It's funny. I think on my bar days, and I don't know how much bar work you've done, but anytime you host or start performing around people who've maybe had one too many, you develop a really special skill of wrangling them, having them laugh at their own silliness, and also like focusing their attention. And that's like a really special skill that I'm glad I have. But I wouldn't have had it had I not spent a lot of time in nightlife.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that you're able to use that skill in this kind of big arena. I hate that I'm running out of time, but I want to talk about a couple of things. You're keeping yourself busy. I mean, you're in this TV and film world. You have.
Came to Vegas. I actually shot here in Vegas for Dice, which is Andrew Dice Clay's scripted Showtime comedy, and that'll be out. I'm on this season, so I believe it starts airing in August, end of August, early September. And then I just joined the cast of a new CBS drama called Wisdom of the Crowd, and it features Jeremy Piven as a Silicon Valley tech genius, and his ex-wife is a congresswoman. I sort of play her chief of staff. They lost their daughter 2 years ago, so he develops an app where you can anonymously submit basically information to lead to the capture of killers. Well, my employer, played by Monica Potter, congresswoman, she really thinks that the right person is in prison. And so here's her husband developing this sort of illegal app going above the head of the law to try to find the rightful killer. So it's this kind of really interesting look at the way technology is impacting our future. But for me, it's really great because I just love playing something that is so opposite me. I'm, very alpha, very conniving, very manipulative the best way possible. I mean, this current political climate has given me a lot to draw from.
Absolutely. Jay, I'm so excited for you. You have so much going on. You're going to be in Vegas until January. We can catch you on CBS this fall. Jay, I can't thank you enough for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. I love you. You look gorgeous, and let's connect soon.